I am Steve Murray, Director of Counseling, joined by Joan Dahl, one of our generalist counselors. We know that around Notre Dame, the next couple of weeks, we've got finals coming in, Mrs. Dahl. What are some of the hints that you can give students who are doing some last-minute preparation for their finals?
Well, many teachers will provide students with study guides, and those study guides require quite a bit of time in answering the questions and gathering information. Sometimes students will consider that study time when in fact really if they worked in advance, collected all the information, that's when the studying can begin. So that's very helpful. Sometimes the study guide for math might include a lot of different problems. If they are practicing, they'll realize strengths, weaknesses, and they still have time to meet with teachers, maybe to go over some information and clarify. Let's see.
But we know that pulling an all-nighter does not work because the retention of that information is kind of suspect.
Absolutely. And so actually it has been proven that for recall of information, it is best to review repeatedly. So instead of maybe spending like that 2 hours the night before, if they were to spend 20-30 minutes 3 different nights in just reading and rereading and reading, that will often go into long-term memory and be much more effective for recall on tests.
So students can create note cards, they can use Quizlet. There are all kinds of ways for students to practice and memorize and quiz themselves, because that's one of the most effective ways to study for final exams.
Exactly.
So once students have gotten through our final exams, then they will receive final grades. And those final grades are so important because those are semester grades, because colleges and universities only look at semester grades in terms of evaluating candidates for admission to their college or university. So it is important that students pay particular attention to the finals because it is 20% of their grade, and because the semester grade is so very, very important.
Absolutely.
So as students begin to prepare for finals, then we know they have a short break, and then they start a new semester. What are some of the hints that you can give students who are going to start in January? They're all going to come in and say that they're going to turn over a new leaf because we all have New Year's resolutions. What are some bits of advice that you could give students as they begin the new semester?
Well, I think it's important to set goals for yourself. To reflect back on this semester, and you certainly have, a lot of information regarding homework assignments, tests, quizzes, and so you can be somewhat analytical about what worked and maybe what needs improvement. And if there's areas where you want to improve, sometimes I think it's helpful just to talk to your teachers, talk to your counselors, and come up with some very specific things that you could do differently, not just the desire just to improve, but I am going to, start to study earlier, maybe, more often, more frequently, just specific things to address.
So goal setting, having a plan, and being reflective and doing an analysis of what worked and what didn't work for those that are looking to improve during the that transition from first semester to second semester. Because as we know, grades are not determined by the magic 8 ball, but they are determined by the hard work that many students put in during this time. So from Mrs. Dahl, I'm Mr. Murray, and we wish everybody a happy Christmas and a happy New Year, and we look forward to continuing these counselor connections next year. Thanks very much.
Thank you.